So it's going to be a long one. I'm probably going to have to split this up in parts. But, you know, women, when we're dating, black women, darker skinned black women, this is particularly for my darker skinned black women, but can apply to others as well. So when we're initially meeting someone as a romantic partner, dating interest or whatever, we've got to start asking them, oh my God, it's so loud. We've got to, ow, feels like I'm outside. We've got to start asking them what kind of people they dated before us. So, of course, my battery's on 15%. So, if for me, because of what I've been through, is if these men that I am trying to date have only ever dated white women or light-skinned black women, the date it needs to be up. Whatever, it doesn't matter what we've been through. If I'm getting to know this like 2 months down the line with the person, like that, it has to be the end of it, because for me that's a crazy red flag. And it's not the kind of red flag that you can ignore or think it can get better. It's like, it's a crazy red flag, and the dude just has to go. Now, the reason for this is because I've had some really traumatic situations happen in my life where I'm dating these people that have only ever dated these other kinds of people and never someone like me. And it turns out that I end up with egg on my face and being very much traumatized and hurt by the relationship. So this is a mad long story because it goes into the last guy I dated when I was in Ghana last. I left Ghana in February. I'm back now, but I left Ghana in February and was like, I didn't want to really say dating. It was more like now like in hindsight, it's kind of like it was just a friggin' joke, but we were sort of kind of like long distance dating, right? And during one of the conversations I was having with this guy, I was telling him about how I am treated by the men, the black men, the African black men that I date in Germany, and how bad it is. And the reason for this is because every one of these men, with the exception of the very last person that I met in April in Hamburg, every one of these men have always stated that they never dated black women. They only ever dated white women. And that's crazy to me. Like, Germany is a white country, but at the same time, there's enough black women, American and African women there. It's like, how are you only ever dating somebody out of your race? But there's a lot of theories for this that I have, from like survival dynamics and just what society has taught us as people around what whiteness represents. You know what I mean? So whatever. So I'm looking for my black love, and I end up dating these dudes, and really just end up being treated so badly. It's so loud. End up being treated so badly. So I decided that if I'm dating any more men, I'm not gonna, like, if they're like black men and they've said that they've only ever dated white women, it's a wrap. Like, we're not even doing this. I don't care how much I like you, because I already know how it's gonna end. And before y'all go on with your, oh, you're so afraid to love, and but not all everybody, da 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 da. I'm a grown ass woman. I've had hundreds, if not thousands, of relationships. I know a red flag when I see one. I'm discerning. My instincts are never wrong, and my assessment of a lot of the people that I come across are never wrong. So please spare me. I'm not afraid to love. If I was afraid to love, I would not have had as many relationships as I've had. I just don't want my time wasted. I want to protect my peace. I want to still feel love within myself and for the people that I come across. So there's no reason for me to waste energy on what I know is going to be a sour ending. Life is not a fairy tale. And quite frankly, I need to have a conversation with y'all in a separate video about what that fairy tale romantic ending represents in culture, in the misogynistic culture, in the patriarchal culture, and why it's just a crock of shit, and I don't want to have anything to do with it. But as I was saying, I'm telling this guy this story about how I'm treated by the African men in Germany, and yeah, why I won't date any more of them. And as I'm telling him the story, he then chimes in about something he starts saying like in the conversation, and then he's like, yeah, this is why and he's like, I've only ever, this is why, or something like that he would say, all my girlfriends have been light skinned, or like, not this is why, but like all his girlfriends have been light skinned. And I started to say to him, you just proved my whole point with what I was saying, but I like didn't say it. But I kind of wish I did, because then that would have meant I would have been paying a lot of attention to what that statement meant, and I would have bounced, because how this situation ended was fucking crazy. And when I tell y'all what I did, it's wild. It's wild what I did in the end to end up this relationship. Very narcissistic, very abusive. Anyway, this guy tells me that he's only ever dated light-skinned girls, but I you know what? Actually, I didn't believe him, because Ghana is a very black country, and I said to him, like, when you say light skin, what do you mean? Because like for light skin, for me as an American, it can be very different from what it can mean in Africa, right? So like if I put the light up on the lighting behind me, or if I'm even in daylight and I'm on camera, I can actually look light skinned or lighter skinned. But I ain't really light skinned to me. When I think of light skin, I'm thinking of like a certain like hue, you know, like Vanessa Williams, or you know, something like that. So I started sending him pictures of some people that I'm friends with. I'm like, yo, you mean light skin like this? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, this is impossible. I've never seen that level of light skin walking around Ghana. Never. I haven't, that, you know. But what do I know? I've only, at that time, had only been to Ghana once and was only there for a few weeks, right? So I obviously have not seen everybody. Now that I'm back, I'm seeing a little bit more of that. But I found that to be shocking. Like, in this really black country, how is it possible that you only ever dated somebody 5 shades lighter than yourself? Well, he's pretty friggin' dark, you know? Anyway, as I was saying, so I didn't like pay any attention to it. But the whole point of this, you know, is like that is a basis for you to run. If they've only ever dated light skin, if they've only ever dated white, run as fast as you can, because you're about to be treated like shit. So when I ended this relationship, and if y'all want me to hear the long story about this, maybe one day I'll tell you, I had to end it because this guy was emotionally manipulating me on such a level that I literally like lost myself, right? He was a complete sociopath, a complete effing narcissist. And the reason how he was able to latch on me, because I kind of keep my guard up high, was because I was in a very vulnerable situation with my mother. Some of you know about the cancer that she still has, and she's still alive. And he found me in that vulnerable state where I went back into a very abusive situation with my mother, not knowing that's what I was walking into, just thinking I was being a good person, and then being brought back into my childhood with this person was absolutely mean to me, did not show any care or respect or appreciation for anything that I was doing, right? And then there he was giving me all of this love and all of this attention. So that's how he was able to latch on. But at the end of the day, I'm trying to make this into a 10-minute video, but at the end of the day, what ended up happening was I had to contact his girlfriend and show her every goddamn conceivable text message, video, screen grab, everything that I could find, to show her that this guy that you're with, that you have been with for most of your adult life, is a narcissistic piece of shit, and all he's doing is cheating on you. And some of y'all might be thinking like, why would you do that, blah, blah, blah. Well, I would do that because at the end of the day, I don't respect the patriarchy. I don't like what it stands for. I don't like what it does. It is my whole life's work to destroy the patriarchy at any chance that I can get when they're doing some hot ass bullshit. Now, yeah, you would say, well, you know, you cheated on him with, you cheated on it. You helped him cheat on her. Yeah, that might be true and dandy, right? But first of all, he's responsible for where he puts his own thing. And secondly, it's okay. Well, it's not okay to cheat, so to speak, but it's one thing to be sexually intimate with someone. And it's a whole nother thing when you're trying to form an entire relationship with a person, knowing damn well that the other person that you are with, you don't intend on leaving them, all right? It's a whole thing I'm going to have to cut this short and give you part 2.